I made my own enemy update for Minecraft. Combat in Minecraft has always been a real interesting case to me. You know, because it sucks. It gets really repetitive after a while. Same mobs, same strategies to beat them, day in and day out. You know how many zombies and skeletons I've killed in my day? At least 7? That's why I've set out on a quest to revitalize the game's combat and make it fun again. My name is Necromaster, and this is my very own enemy expansion. Created across the span of the past year by yours truly, Enemy Expansion is a mod designed to feel like a vanilla Minecraft update that adds somewhere in the realm of 50 new mobs to the game. I may have gone a little overboard there. So overboard, in fact, I ended up removing most of them. Now we're just left with the cream of the crop, the tastiest of tasty, like the sneaky starved, the defensive Silver Queen, and the life-threatening, man-eating troll. In creating these new mobs, I tried to follow 3 crucial guidelines to help push me towards creating good content. Number 1. Does the mob feel distinct yet appropriate to the game's art style? Number 2. Does the mob fill in any missing gameplay niches not already covered? And number 3, most important of all, is the mob fun to play with? With those guidelines established, here's what I've added. Beginning any good expansion upon the base game's content, we'll start by fleshing out the zombies. Starting with the Sprinter. To counterbalance the fact that players can quite easily run away from any zombies who are approaching, I decided to add one who will chase you to the ends of the earth! This guy is fast. Fast enough that he can keep up with you whilst you yourself are sprinting. Initially he remained that way, but that wasn't very interesting, it felt kind of unfair. Now when you attack them, they get momentarily stunned, accompanied by a cute little dizzy animation reminiscent of fighting games like Street Fighter 2. Once the dizziness wears off, they shake their heads, let off some steam, and resume their assault. You're presented with 2 options here. Either continue beating on the Sprinter to keep it in a state of stun lock until it's dead, or stun it, then focus on whatever other mobs are backing it up whilst it's slowed. Options. While Sprinters have speed, they don't have strength. That's where the Slugger comes in. Mirroring his speedier brother, the hulking Slugger approaches as slowly as a regular zombie, but upon being hurt, dashes towards you in a short blitz, forcing you to either momentarily retreat or parry with your shield. On the topic of staying on guard, Peter, the horse is here. You'll especially want to do that for the Equestrian, a rarer horse-riding zombie whose mare will go into an utter frenzy when hurt, sending it darting all over the place before regaining composure. You could think of it like a stun state akin to the Sprinters. This one's just a bit trickier to deal with, as its longer stun and erratic nature mean you'll have to keep more of an eye on it when it's coming back to its senses than either of the previous 2 mobs. Aside from just panicking though, in the newest version of the mod it'll also occasionally ring a bell that'll speed up any nearby undead in the vicinity, making it especially deadly in group fights. Slaying this guy will rarely result in his steed dropping its horse head, which can be worn as a hat that'll reward you with temporary speed boosts when killing enemies. It's truly a hat made in heaven. Why's the sky? Is it just me or is time getting faster? The last of the zombie mobs is a special one. Ladies, gentlemen, and all those in between, I present to you the Meacher. God, I love this little freak. Inspired by Half-Life's iconic headcrab enemy, the Meacher blurs the line between arthropod and undead right in the sand, hopping at enemies just like a spider and running away when hurt like a coward. They can spawn with a randomized health value, so it may either be little weaklings who can be dealt with easily, or beefy little guys that need to be approached with caution. If no players are nearby, they'll start ravaging other zombies for their flesh, which they adore. They adore it so much, in fact, that if you wave some in their face and feed it to them, you can even tame them. Where have I seen this before?
Get that thing away from me!
If you allow them to earn a kill on your behalf, their health pool will grow bigger. After enough time and enough kills, they'll cap out at 50 HP. Powerful little guys they are indeed. 4 new zombie mobs. Not bad at all. As you can see, I've tried to introduce a fair bit more variety into your typical melee combat encounters, through enemies that accompany the basic zombies' forces in sheer numbers, with mobs that additionally utilise strength, speed, unpredictability, and support capabilities for a much more diverse and interesting gameplay experience. Enemy expansion is chock-a-block with these kinds of mobs. Now originally, this video was going to be 20 minutes long, and I'd ramble in precise detail about every single mob's capabilities. I recorded it all even. But I think I've demonstrated my general thought process so far, so I'll quickfire some of the most interesting features and design philosophies of the other mobs coming up, before throwing you an interesting question at the end. Sound good? Let's do it! The Huntsman is a new skeleton who can sidestep after being attacked, via a special triple shot arrow attack, and even punch you in the face if you get too close. Regular skeletons' movements are incredibly predictable, so I wanted to add a variant that was a lot stronger and more exciting to encounter. I think he's pretty cool. Starved fossils rest in the desert both day and night. Opening their mouths up reveals treasure, but will aggravate them. These guys add a nice risk-reward element to the game, since their mouths can hold some real valuables, including diamonds. Beyond that, I'm also just very proud of their design. They were inspired by the Great Hunger, or Mob C, one of the 2017 Minecon Mob Vote contenders. This is not to be confused with The Great Hunger by Cecil Woodham Smith, which is about the Irish potato famine. Scorpions attack in the desert's nights and turn invisible when hurt, but you can keep track of them by their glowing eyes. If you don't focus on them,
you will die!
Their invisibility mechanic is inspired by how real-life scorpions can burrow their bodies under sand to make themselves harder to see. Wasps can be found in the forests. They'll circle all around you at once, then dash at you should you fight groups of them. They drop their thorax, which can be used to summon drones who'll fight monsters, and other drones. Minecraft doesn't have very many flying enemies, so I thought playing off the aggressive beast mechanics would be fun. They're straightforward enough to deal with individually, but become huge menaces when in clusters. They're very cool. Flutterflies are giant, beautiful red butterflies that appear only rarely in forests. They'll heal you if you pet them, and can also be bottled to be consumed for healing later. If you kill them, you're given regeneration for an extended duration, but fighting them is dangerous as they're both fast when aggroed, in addition to dealing wither damage upon contact. I made these guys with ultra-hardcore playthroughs in mind, so as to provide some well-needed relief if you find them. Ladybugs are smaller, beautiful red beetles that show up in lush caves exclusively. They'll fight zombies and spiders, and can be fed spider's eyes in exchange for healing eyes, which can be thrown at friends and foes alike to instill the instant health effect. If they take too much damage from zombies, they can be zombified. Tarantulas are dripstone cave exclusive spiders, who speed up upon taking damage, which happens more commonly in a biome as vertical as their own. Though they can't be tamed, they can be right-clicked and ridden without a saddle. Could come in handy as a useful temporary ally. Silver queens are giant silverfish that have latched onto skeletons to become more powerful. They'll spawn silverfish, then fling them at you with their arm-like tails. If you topple their skeletal bodies and bring them back to the ground, you can finish them off and earn an advancement. Goblins are devious little creatures who will steal your XP when they attack you. They can also have the XP knocked out of them themselves if you smack them hard enough, even dropping XP bottles on death. If left unchecked around villages, they'll steal from them. And if you attack them while they're weakened, you can do this. Trolls are massive cave dwellers who can be aggravated when damaged too much, pushing them into a terrifying, frenzied state. They'll rush you down and chomp you to bits if their aggressive roar doesn't blow you off a ledge first. They'll petrify if attacked directly under sunlight, turning into a nifty little statue you can display around your base. And finally, vampires. Whilst they initially rush you down on foot first, drinking your blood and healing themselves, they can be pushed into going airborne, while they'll try and rush you down in flight instead. Their bites cause momentary blindness to disorient you. When their health is low enough, they'll retreat into an even smaller flying state, the biter. If left alone long enough, biters will transform back into regular vampires with a fully restored health bar. They can also be one-shotted in this state too, so make advantage of it and shoot them down! Now! If any of the vampire mobs are attacked whilst under sunlight, they will explode. And one more thing to show off. Whilst phantoms might still suck to fight against, you can now make armor out of their membranes, the Phantasm set. Increasing your speed, strength, and defense whilst in the dark. You'll become stronger than the Dark Knight himself with this armor set. Oh, and did I mention that the helmet provides permanent night vision? It's pretty sweet. And for now, that's all for the current build of my Minecraft enemy update. Here's the question I was referencing earlier. If you were to add more enemies to Minecraft, what areas of combat would you like to see expanded upon in the process?